Hello, and welcome to my so-called life. My name is William, and yes, I have the longest opening in showbiz.
It's Russell Rush on Friday, kicking with ballistics on WIMS. Yo, I got a phone call from my girl. She wants to hold cake. I said, hold up. Yo, Jay Dix is trying to get money here. WIMS, Dallas Soul, Saturday, y'all.
Girl meets boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy rolls blunt back to his boy. Erection brings bad boy joys. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black fat, love big black fat. Girl calls boy to stand him up on Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday, it's the Saturday, it's the Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday, Saturday is the Saturday.
Back once more with the wallop in the store. Smash about a riff shit and make it rock your hip. Revival of the roller boogie in a ricochet to make you think about the time we spoke fun instead of fight. But diving from a piece of metal shoulda yo, slip your butt to the fix of this mix. Toss that briefcase, it's time to let loose. Cause you work like heck to get the weekend check. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on everybody, get the funky output.
5 days you work, 1 whole day to play. Come on everybody, wear your roller skates today. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, yeah.
Now as you pump your fists, I reminisce to a bounce rock skate low fest to impress. Hey pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Cool, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is feet. But promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, look who just walked in.
Is there a gun on stage?
Yes, man.
So kick the wham on this jam.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. Wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating high five and a day's no split. With a yawn, I trip to the dawn. Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear. Rattle to the roll. Hold back up the track, grab your roller skates, y'all. And let's zip on by. Zippity doo, now let's zip on by. Feed on the weed and we're feeling high. Sun is on thick and the cheese is rolling thick. Come on, it's no time to hide. Season is twist, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the bottom away, but it's okay. It's a Saturday.
Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Lawn, don't look at the Peter.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time.
Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Saturday. Hello. Welcome, Mona. Great to see you. Today has been another long adventure. But seriously, I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the House of Sewing. My name is William, and I'm that crazy guy who sews on YouTube. Yay! So, let's get down to business first. I went thrifting today. I said I wasn't going to. Next week, I'm not going to go fabric shopping. I didn't buy as much as I normally do, but I got a couple Amazon packages. This program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every single human being on planet Earth. I hope everybody has a great evening. Flying my so-called life airlines, and at any moment, if you need to exit, we have exits on both sides. That's Mosquito to the end of Etcha. I hope everybody has a great night. Great to see you, Dixie. Great to see you. Yay! Hello. So first, I have to show you something I purchased on Amazon. I finally failed. I do pretty good ordering stuff on Amazon as far as sizes. Yay, great to see you. Great to see you. I finally purchased something on Amazon that is tiny again. Oh, so one late night here in the house of Soren. I'm watching The Hobbit right now. So if you hear any weird references, it's because I've been watching this all day. So one late night in the house of sewing, I was sitting here on Amazon and I ordered two vests. I ordered one that was like $25. And I ordered another one that was $10. And when I received the first vest, I couldn't tell the difference if I received the $10 or the $20 vest. And I'm glad that I know the difference now. This was the $10 vest. I want you to look at the size on this. I'm laughing because this is tiny. This is a triple XL. And with Amazon sizing, I usually have to go a size up. I wear an extra large because I'm deceptively big. Oh, I've never watched that yet. It's an investment. It's an investment. I was really into the first three movies, and the other ones came out when I was older. So over time, I've purchased the movies. Oh man, hold on. Let me switch my angles to give you perspective of this. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Yay! Hello, hello. How's it going, Kilroy? Quit with the $500 grocery bills, and you might fit in something smaller. That's for real. Even with inflation, we really do have $500. I went shopping today because I have to cut it in half. I hope you're doing well, Gilroy. Great to see you. Great to see you. So keep in mind when I ordered this is a triple extra large. Let me move my camera over. Or I might have just. There we go. So this is supposed to be a triple extra large. This barely fits me. My son is going to love this vest. I promised he could have it after I showed it off on stream. Oh. Exactly. The grocery store is a completely different subject because everything is expensive and it doesn't matter what direction you go. It's unreal nowadays. Let me see if I have something that, okay. I know this isn't exactly the same thing, but this is what would be considered triple extra large. This jersey is so big, this thing could be a dress on me. This would be triple extra large. This vest is a complete fail. But like I said, it's okay. My son is going to love this vest. Oh. And right now, I'm improving on my shawl. I got kind of inspired once again on Amazon, and I ordered some sequin letters because it had to be cheaper than going to Hobby Lobby because I could get larger letters, but I would be paying $3 per letter, and for what I wanted, it would have been outrageous. So I'm halfway done. Well, kind of halfway done. But that says the hardest work. I'm going to put the hardest working man in showbiz. I've said it so many times. Kilroy has said it so many times. I think it should be on my shawl. And because I love working on 3 projects at once, I'm also working on a tweed jacket. I have the pockets cut. I have everything cut, and I'm ready to sew on it. But I kind of want to work on my hardest working man in showbiz shawl. I came up with it. I want royalties. Done, but you have to scream patent pending, patent pending. So I don't know. I do not know which one I want to work on more. I kind of want to finish the hardest working man in showbiz. I guarantee you the scale's going to be way off because I'm going to put hardest working on one side and man in showbiz on the other. Awesome. So today I went thrifting as well, and I bought more tweed. I went to the people that I rely on now for most of my fabric, but as I walked through their tent, I've purchased everything. Kilroy's not kidding. We're gonna leave that up for a minute. I've purchased everything in their kiosk, And when it comes to the people with tweed, every time I show up, they have something different. Now I know. Oh, you'd fit right in LA. So, like I said, because of the Olympics, they're retrofitting every building in Los Angeles. So right now it's tweed pickers paradise because I have the selection of all kinds of crazy stuff because the tweed is widely available here. And the crickets are out early and I have to have my fans off. Let me turn my fan down. There we go. I have Huey Lewis and the News stuck in my head. And because I'm extra, I went and purchased 4. So now I have sports and 4. My son was like, oh, this is a phase. Oh, let's see. I purchased more tweed. I also purchased a weird metal box grab bag. It had a lot of sewing supplies in it. And when I walked up to this particular vendor, I saw a bunch of spools. So my eyes lit up and I didn't run, but I walked with purpose over to the spools, but there was somebody I didn't realize that was negotiating over quite a few spools. And he was not too happy when I walked up and grabbed the spool. But needless to say, I purchased, let me grab it. I purchased a ton of, it's just bits and bobs. And so this came from somebody's sewing room. At the swap meet, it's just like the thrift store. A lot of this stuff comes from people who have passed away, or what I think everything's stolen. But I also purchased this, and I haggled for this. Because the guy wanted $3 and I was only willing to pay $1. So we settled on 2. And I mean, because this book is worth way more than $3. Like, this is legitimate. This is a legitimate book. And I was just being mean with my negotiations with this guy. So I'm actually really excited. So in a week or 2, I might actually know what I'm talking about. And, oh, wow. I love the sewing accessory boxes. This one was kind of sad because this came straight from a workroom. I cannot even do justice of what's in here. hold on. Let me get my other camera before I show that goofy thing that I purchased. There's that black crinkly bag of bad decisions. That's another one you should scream patent pending, because I do say that. I say no good decisions come from a black bag, from a black crinkly bag. All right, so let me switch my angle. This, like I said, it's this came from someone's shop. When I see something like this, I try to purchase it in its entirety because, you know, I'm going to preserve something like this. And one day my stuff's going to be at the swap meet. All right, let me figure out what I'm doing. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this is untouched. I haven't even gone through this yet to see what's in here. This is obviously serger thread, which I have a ton. Oh, that's funny. This is caps to a starting pistol. This is electrical tape that's going straight in the trash. Oh, I have no idea what this is. So, needless to say, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's a letter opener. But I purchased this at the swap meet, and the guy was like, "Oh, give me $20." I looked at him and I was like, I'll give you 5 for both of these. And he got really, really mad. And we haggled. I paid $8 for all of this. Because really, it's a bunch of leftover thread. A lot of this I won't be able to put in my machine. Most of this I purchased for the novelty, really. And who doesn't need another chisel? Oh, I already know what this is. This is a rack. So this obviously came from a store because this is a rack from like a shop. Oh, that's funny. I kind of don't feel as bad. Oh, a penny. Cool. Just a bunch of junk you'll never use. I felt bad seeing it just sit there at the swap. Somebody dedicated their life to this, and it ended up at the. Hey, Joy, great to see you. Great to see you. Yay, Joy, great to see you. Great to see you. Do you know what it is? I purchased this stuff because one day all of my stuff's going to be like this, and it kind of makes me sad. Oh, and of course, I purchased this as well. I'm excited. It's not like I do not have a million Tucker foots, but I have 1,000,001 now. Yay, hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. So I rescued that from the swap meet. It makes me sad when I see that. And I've been doing a lot of hand sewing lately. And I purchased an unreal amount of serger thread, so I've actually been using my serger thread. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Do you know what's funny? I think this will fit right in the in my blind stitchers slot. I think this will fit right in there. But needless to say, what else did I purchase? Purchased thread. I purchased. Oh. You know, one day I will be able to walk past orange tweed, but it was not today. This is even more orange than the other orange. It's not as much, but I love tweed. I am fully in my tweed era right now. Oh, I have a quick question after I show you what the tweed. I purchased this as well. I can't remember. I think I've made pants with this, but I purchased more. Yay. A couch cover? I like. Do you know what's so funny? I actually need to cover my couch. I'm like a mechanic who has a broken down car in front of their house. I actually should reupholster my couch, and I have full material to do it. I might make my couch that funky green. Oh yeah, hello, hello. Great to see you. Great to see you, Joy. You've been saying you're at the top of your tweet era for a month. It's because, and the guy even told me because of the Olympics, they're retrofitting every building. They're getting rid of the 1960s and 70s in LA. When the world comes to LA, it's going to be the future. By the way, I think I'm going to move in the next 4 years. I think I'm going to move before the Olympics because I don't want to be here when it comes. And I'm serious when I say that. It would be fun to do. I'm seriously thinking about reupholstering my couch. I have trashed my couch in the past 4 years, and it's me. It's me. I can't even blame my son. All right, let's see. Oh, if you think traffic is bad, now you think I'm playing. You think I'm joking. You guys think I'm joking? I'm going to be watching the Olympics from a town near you. Oh. And I'll tell cool stories like, oh, look at that street. I'm just going to tell cool stories from extremely far away. Yay! Laugh out loud just got here to say I have trashed my couch. Hey, Alibaba, what happened to my I purchased another treasure box because I need 10 million Tucker feet. Oh, I'm thinking about reupholstering my couch. Joy is once again talking me into something, and it's always a good idea. Better start packing stuff up now. I'm serious. Like, I don't want to be here. And there were people, I was actually watching a show last night, and it's very actually valley centric because people in the valley, they have to separate themselves. We all live in LA County, but they gave the logistics of like what happened in Atlanta. I'm here for the move to Memphis or wherever you go because you won't last in PA winter. I've been to Memphis. I actually liked Memphis. Is that where they have Beale Street? Memphis, Tennessee. I loved Memphis. It would absolutely, Alibaba. So I have a weird question. I bought this for $1. What is this? It's somebody. Their arm was obviously skinnier than mine. What is this? I have a feeling I know what this is. Oh, I'm really gonna have to. It's like a blood pressure cuff if I don't loosen up that thing. Yay! Hello, Donnell. Great to see you. I had a great time in Memphis. I had a great time. And for the record, I've lived places where it snowed. I just didn't do well. Great to see you, Donnell. I hope your evening is going well. I haven't figured out what this contraption is. I need to find my seam ripper that I'm using right now. I believe this thing was hand sewn because whoever had it had an extremely skinny arm. Because I'm relatively speaking thin. Oh, yay! Hello. Something to remake into something else. I like that. Oh, sorry. Memphis and every part of Tennessee is great. A lot of people wear, well, we all know about the California exodus that's going on right now. But I've known, oh, I wish Butterfly was here. I've known now over 30 people that have moved to Texas, but I know quite a few people that have bought land in Tennessee from California. It's an armor of some sort. Well, I've opened it up with my seam ripper, so we're gonna find out. It has a weird brace, but just have a feeling that the person was just a little bit skinnier. See, now that fits. That looks like something for from Gladiator Age. Dost thou joust? When I was younger, I wanted to be on American Gladiators so bad. So bad. I would sit up at night hoping to be on that show. I went to Tennessee once, never again. The South is just too much culture shock. I have no idea what this thing is. And you know what? Joy is right. This will be refashioned into something else. Yay! Yay! Hello, hello. And the funny thing is, it has weird steampunk. I years ago, the Goodwill had this weird idea where they started selling a bunch of steampunk stuff for Halloween, and it actually was a hit. At least where I live, they sold the stuff everywhere. 2 or 3 years later, I saw all of it at swap meets. Because you can't give the Goodwill their stuff back. Well, I guess you could. You could put a box there and run. It's illegal in my state, but people still do it. Yay! Hello, hello. I'm gonna figure out what this is, and I don't know. I definitely will repurpose this into something. If not, I have a really cool shin guard. Yay! Hello, Donnell. Hello, hello. Let's see. I've today I really was the hardest working man in showbiz. So I'm improving on my shawl. Like I said earlier, this says the hardest work. I'm gonna have it say the hardest working man in showbiz. And yes, yes, Kilroy did invent that saying. Yes, Kilroy. Patent pending, patent pending. Oh, and I'm also just dropping stuff. And I'm also making a coat. These are the pockets. I'm one of those people that has 2 or 3 projects going on at once. And miraculously, by the end of this evening, they will all be finished. I think I'm going to start with the hardest working man in showbiz. Absolutely. Because you know I'm going to go full James Brown with this one. Oof. Really what inspired this was, I'm always Googling and scrolling, and I found out a rabbit hole of James Brown's clothes. And he put the hardest working man of showbiz on everything. On everything. And then I watched James Brown in Africa. He had his name on everything. On everything. Oh, that reminds me. I don't know if you can see this, but I will be recreating Wilson Pickett's outfit. Let's see if I can get any closer with that. I have the hat. I can make those pants. But I will be recreating Wilson Pickett's outfit. Let me pull that out. We need to do this picture some justice. And everybody, I just have to say, I'm not kidding when I say that I am going to recreate this. Oh, look at that outfit. So that's definitely going to be coming to Friday shows near you. Oh, and get the website name domain. I purchase my name every year and I haven't. So if you want to go and purchase it, go right ahead. Oh. Awesome, awesome. So let me get my hardest working man in showbiz. I'm gonna have to improvise. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make an E out of the letters that I have. I ordered 2 sets, but I'm a letter off. But it's not that difficult. The only thing that's difficult is that because I live in a really warm climate, I ordered this from Amazon and everything came sticky. I am not kidding. This stuff, it took me a minute to peel the top layer off. This is literally stuck to my thumb. Okay. So, what's everybody doing this evening? Is anybody sewing? I know it's late everywhere else except for on the West Coast, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. What's going on? What are we sewing? What projects are we getting into? I'm all over the place as usual. I have quite a few projects that I'm doing. I'm going to try to get this done, but tonight I really want to finish my coat. And I had just enough blue tweed to make something that looks amazing. So I'm actually excited. But the second I had big plans. I have everything cut out. I was in the middle actually of doing my coat, and then the Amazon package came. I'm painting a gift for someone. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love making things for people. And there's a lot of people around me that actually prefer gifts to be made, which is actually easier on the wallet for someone who lives in a house of stuff. And that's awesome. I've spent most of the day cleaning. If anyone's seen my shorts, I am reviving jackets that I have not seen in 4 years. My last short, there's a black coat. I put that thing on. I have not seen that thing in 3 or 4 years, but I've been cleaning out my closet and I've been rediscovering all these amazing things. And I've found a few things that I didn't even I think I might have made them in a live stream, but I never took pictures of them, which is rare for me. I gotta be painting a couple of shelves tomorrow. I haven't used liquid paint since art class, just spray paint. I hope it'll look good. It will. Modern paint sets on itself. So I guarantee you, if it's like modern paint, you'll be fine. Just don't overcoat it. I always tell my boys I prefer handmade gifts. I have everything they've ever made. Do you know what's so funny? I get weirdly sentimental with my son whenever I find something. I'm like, he made me a rock I have in my room. I'll pull the rock out. He'll walk out of the room. He's like, I don't want to hear about the rock again. But the rock has eyeballs. I'm the same way. I can't believe I'm admitting this. I just threw away a 9-foot whale. For anyone who knew me 5 or 6 years ago, I had that from my son's kindergarten class. He's in the 10th grade now. I just threw the whale away. He looked at me. He's like, "You still have the whale? Get rid of the whale." I almost cried when I got rid of that whale. It was a giant, giant blue paper whale. My son was like, when he was older, he's like, "Okay, we could take this out of my room." I put it up at my job, and they were like, "We're grown men." I just got rid of them. Get rid of the whole of the whale you bought. I'm not kidding you. I just got rid of that. I am extremely sentimental. And that's not even my normal hoarding tendencies. I blame my mom because she set the precedent because she kept everything. So she taught me the value of sentiment. All right. Okay, so we have the hardest working, and it's gonna be on this side. Oh, that's gonna look beautiful. Oh, so the hardest working man in showbiz will go on this side. I'm gonna spread this out because I have to iron these on. Whoa! I have to say, this is the first time I've ever used sequins from Amazon. So we're gonna find out together if this is a failure or not. So far, it's a sticky mess, but they're working well. I have all the pottery stuff they made, the bead necklaces, spelling their names, the Christmas wreath with their handprints. Exactly. I'm the same way. And as the years go on, it like every year with my Christmas tree, a lot of the ornaments and stuff I pull out is stuff my son has made. Oh, he's probably watching this and he's like, "Oh, my dad, he's such a wreck." I'm very sentimental too. When I found out they started making the calculator I bought when I was 12 in Kmart, I bought a new one and put the old one up because it's sentimental. Absolutely. When I was younger, I was obsessed with my Sega Genesis. When I found one in a Goodwill years ago, this was all pre-COVID. I was so glad. But I grabbed that thing so fast. And still to this day, I play Sonic 2 like I'm in the 4th or 5th grade. Oh, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that within reason. You know, I knew people that had wedding cake in their freezer 30 years later. Do people still do that? I don't think people stay together or even get married like that anymore. But there has to be a line somewhere. Like the whale was getting ridiculous because it was in the side of my house where I keep the power tools. So when the whale gets hidden, it's time to get rid of it. But where's that line between oh, I got to keep this forever, or like, oh, I got to get rid of this? Laugh out loud. He's sitting in the other room going, "Shut up, Dad." Absolutely. It's our job to embarrass them and be mushy. Oh, absolutely, especially because my kid's all tough guy now. You know, he grew up around adults. So I get it. Like he wants to be the man. He wants to be grown, but like, you're my son. So I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I love you." We used to watch Yo Gabba Gabba. I still sing the songs. He runs out of the room when I start singing. Oh, I miss Yo Gabba Gabba. Let me get my ruler real quick because I look like I do not measure, but I actually do. And I think I have, let me do a magic trick. Ta-da! I have measuring tapes everywhere in here. A friend of somebody I know had a wedding today. They only had a small cake to cut. They had 250 people, so it wouldn't have been taken a cake. So it wouldn't have taken a cake the size of a bathtub to get everybody cake. So it would have taken the cake. Yikes! I need to put my glasses on. And yes, I literally keep these things everywhere. A long time ago, I had a bad sewing day one day, and I utterly and completely lost it because I couldn't find a measuring tape. So what I did is I have planted these things in every corner of this room. I'm not kidding you. I can walk up to my mannequin and grab one off the neck. There's one in every drawer. I made sure that I will never lose these again. Oh, but a tradition here in Western PA is the cookie table. You only have a small cutting table if you want one. If you want one, and a table of cookies that your guests make themselves and take to the wedding. Wow. We need to start that here in California. We need to start the cookie table. I'm hungry already. Oh my God. Do you know what's so funny? I stopped myself the other day at my local Safeway from buying the giant cookie. You know, when it's just literally a giant cookie because they sell it in the cake section. I had to stop myself. I sat there and had an intervention with myself. Haven't we already established your lack of seeing? Put on your glass. I'm vain. I'm vain. Oh, hi, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the House of Sewing. I can see you now. Another tradition is the the fire hall wedding. We do cheap weddings here. You know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this on YouTube. I got married at my grandmother's house because she was the person in my family that had the biggest house. There is no shame in having a smaller wedding. We had 200 something people in my grandma's backyard. And I still, to this day, I think of it as just an amazing party. We had a great party. We had it catered. We took the whole wedding to the hotel. It was great. Oh, I wonder if you can rent out the fire halls here. We have so much working space, office space, things you can rent here that there are so many venues. It's unreal. It's because everybody wants to be on TV, so they advertise for locations. I can't even sit up here and act like my job didn't do the same thing. They filmed Sons of Anarchy and this weird show called Sons of Tucson. I never watched it, but they filmed it at my job. And we still have a ton of their stuff. A ton. They asked me, they're like, do you want all this stuff? I was like, just put it up at that shop up there. Oh, my mom got married at Weddingville Gales. Her and my stepdad got cut off jeans. They got there by Jeep. See, that's awesome. I love stuff like that. I had more of a hillbilly wedding, and when I go to big weddings, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have this. And also, I was raised Roman Catholic. Most people in my family still are. When I go to Catholic weddings, they're 2 hours. You're sitting in the church for 2 hours. Oh, but can you rent it for one day? You know what? If someone invited me to a Catholic wedding, I would be like, I'll meet you guys at the reception hall. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So I have the hardest working. And now I'm going to put man in showbiz. I'm going to have to improvise, but that's okay. I have my X-Acto ready. The funny thing is, a while ago, I'm going to size shame myself again if this stuck to my table because I spill coffee all the time. Oh, when I managed. Let's see if it's still working. It's working. But a long time ago, I went on Amazon. One of my famous late night purchases. I thought I was purchasing a giant cutting board. A giant cutting board. And this is what, okay, I laughed so hard when this came to my house. And now I use it as a mouse pad to shame myself. Oh, good times. The price of most weddings is as much as a nice new car. It's outrageous. And that was another thing. For as much money, like, man, we were like, no, we're gonna do this the real way. That's why we had caterers. We had a great party, but we didn't waste money on the venue. My mom showed me their cake piece from their wedding. She was going to toss it out, so I took it. So I took a piece and ate it. Told her it was a nice cake. Laugh out. It was a fruit cake. Oh, that's so disappointing. You should frame that cutting board as a reminder. Oh, I should. My dad had this ratty flannel he wore. My mom would throw it in the trash. He would go in the trash and he would go get it out of the garbage. One day they got in this big fight about it. He said, all right. He left. He came back and it was framed. That thing sat at the shop forever until I took it home. So I should frame it. Laugh out loud. 30-year-old fruitcake. That sounds like the plot to an 80s sitcom. Oh. Okay, focus. Where's an M? Okay, hardest working man. Oh yeah, I was gonna measure as I'm sitting here waffling. God, the Waffle House is open tonight. Ah. Do you know what's so funny? We've only been 2 or 3 weeks into school, and I'm already planning my next Vegas thrift vacation. So if you don't see me next Saturday, it's because I snapped and needed another vacation. Really, I think what it is, it's the fact. It's the fact that I'm my son's taxi. But as a parent, you know, you have to accept your place. All right. Let's see if I can do this again. Oh, what did I do with it? I've eaten World War II rations, Vietnam era, 5 finger of death hot dogs. Ew. Ew. Because I grew up in a military family, I've had MREs. I am not a fan. Every time a cousin, family member would come home from Camp Pendleton, oh, you want to try an MRE? I am not a fan. Which is not a dig at the military in any way, shape, or form. I come from a military family. If your wedding cake has freezer stalagmites on it, it's past the time where it's gonna taste good. Thank you. Do you know what's really funny? I love cake. If I'm one of those people like I'm like Foghorn Leghorn when the pie is cooked. I'm floating to the windowsill. I couldn't imagine eating 30-year-old cake. But I was raised by people with OCD. I couldn't imagine. Oh, that M's a bit off, but I'm going to be jumping around with this thing on anyways. So, you know what's really... I talked about how every October it awakens my sweet tooth. And ever since last year, I have not stopped. I've been eating cake a lot lately. Ever since my son's birthday, I'm like, I need a reason to buy another ice cream cake. Hey, If anyone has a birthday, I'm going to celebrate it for you. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to buy a cake for you and I'm going to eat it. I loved the ration packs. Oh, I ate an MRE from the 80s once. It was the mid 2010s. The side still tasted good, but the dehydrated beef patty refused to rehydrate properly. That was before they figured out how to make good MREs. Oh, that's so funny. Same. I've been on this weird sweet tooth lately where I've been my son shamed me. I plowed through an entire thing of powdered donuts, and when I say thing, it was a carton. It wasn't like the Entenmann's where you get them, they're all neatly placed. This was this big plastic carton that I got at Walmart. I don't know what it is. I've been eating more cakes lately. I've been going to the donut shop by my house. I have no idea what it is. I had some from the 2010s too in the same time frame. I wanted a whole damn pallet of. You know what's really funny? My son did the same thing. We sat down one night. This was when he was younger. We sat down one night and we ate MREs. I think they're. I will only accept them in an apocalyptic situation. That is the, or if I get drafted. If they're taking old people with bad lungs, that's what I'll start eating. MRE. Oh, when they need the Contra Patrol, Dad's Army, I'm there. Oh. Now I have to watch Dad's Army. Oh. Okay, I have to make sure artist. Okay, hardest working man in soap is. This is gonna be way off, but I'm gonna love this anyways. And I'm probably gonna add more to it. I just wanted to see how this looks. This was more of a test, but now that I know what I'm doing, I'm probably gonna order more letters just to keep the consistency. The Russians would have to be coming from San Bernardino for them to draft it. And I have asthma. Oh my gosh, I go to see what National Day is tomorrow. It is National Secondhand Wardrobe Day. It's my holiday tomorrow. I could come out with a I could be like that video. I got $20 in my pocket. I could come out with a fur coat and everything. I love looking that up, by the way, Donnell. I years ago, I used to stream with these people, and then I took half their audience and started doing the show better. But I kind of took that format because I love knowing what day it is. I love all these weird holidays. People, at first I was like, Secretary's Day, this and that. I love the weird holidays. I absolutely love the weird holiday. Right. I was like, really? You're telling me this while I listen to it? That is my national holiday. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. I'm a thrifter. I am definitely a thrifter. Dave Chappelle was born today in 1973. Happy birthday. I know exactly how old Dave Chappelle is. For some reason, I thought he was older. Wow. You should. Dave Chappelle has been in every failed sitcom. Every, like, wow. That means he's been acting for a long time. And Stephen Fry was born today in 1957. He's actually in this version of The Hobbit. When they go to Irontown, Stephen Fry is the mayor or whatever. Oh, that's so funny. Really, I would have never guessed you're a thrifter. It's so sad at the thrift stores. They're like, "Hi, William," and I'm like, "Oh, I come here too much." When you're, and it's not just one thrift store. It's not just one. And there's people that say hi to me, and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever told them my name. Oh, this one does not want to come out. Yay! Hello, Pam. Hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. I was rewatching your live stream. I don't know why I missed it. I think I was out. But great to see you, Pam. Great to see you. Yay. I love The Hobbit. I said Sauron earlier when I was trying to say sewing, so I gave away what I was watching. When I was younger, I grew up in the era of audiobooks before they were online. But I loved The Hobbit. I loved Lord of the Rings. I'm one of those geeks that like, oh, they left this out, they left that out. But I try not to be that person. But I'm kind of in a show hole. So as you can see, I'm also watching Knight Rider. And Knight Rider reminds me of the 80s. I love Knight Rider. Oh, yay. Hello. Great to see you, Pam. Yay. I so love all those type of movies. Me too. And it makes me want to go to these places. Like, I know Irontown, all this stuff isn't real, but I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to New Zealand and see all these spectacular places. And today in 1995, Windows 95 was released. In 1932, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the U.S. And in 2006, Pluto wasn't a planet anymore. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm looking at you. Do you know what's funny? If you say that to Neil deGrasse Tyson's face, he will tell you to get over it. He'll tell you to get over it. Oh. I picked up a Singer Imperial Princess 7005 sewing machine. Wow. I have to look that up. That's awesome. I love finding you, as we all know. That's awesome, Pam. Singer Imperial. Oh, it popped up. There we go. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful sewing machine. Awesome. Me too. I call myself William the Inhaler because of Vladimir the Impaler. So I call myself William the Inhaler. Had all the original accessories and plus extras. You get so lucky at thrift stores. It makes me want to go thrift in your area. Do you know, whenever I go to Vegas and it says Utah is only 365 miles, I'm like, well, I got here. I could probably make it to Utah in 7 hours from my house. It's southern Utah. You always find awesome stuff, Pam. Awesome. Absolutely. When I found I found 2 quilting machines in Vegas. You would never see them on the sales floor in California. If it looks fancy, they jack the price up and put it behind the counter. Oh, that reminds me. Great segue. The extras are great every time. Absolutely. That reminds me. It's just been sitting there in Twitter. I completely forgot about it. I passed up on sewing machines today. Let's all clap. This is day 1 of our meeting of Sewing Anonymous. But it was more or less because of the prices. And it's because I already have this particular machine. Let me show this. I'm actually proud of myself. Well done, passing up on sewing. You guys have no idea. It's not. Oh, whoops. I'm switching my angle. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea. I just work here. All right, let me share screen. There we go. $259. I own I think it came with some touch and sew bobbins. Pam, you know I'm a touch and sew aficionado. And it is not a tainted bobbin, Olipop. What, dude, you have to warn us before breaking that kind of news too. Oh my gosh, so happy I was. Well, the truth is, I probably own 6 or 7 of this particular sewing machine. Probably 9 or 10. I have 2 in the table that I'm looking at right now. There's probably 3 or 4 behind me. And I'm telling you, when I went nuts in Ventura, I walked up to this exact table and paid $24 for this exact same sewing machine, same year, same model, same table. So there, oh, hold on. I'm giving away state secrets here. And then this was Elridge, and they wanted $95 for this. Laugh out loud, Tina. Bobbins, absolutely. It is. I own quite a few of them. So I knew it was overpriced. This Elridge, though, I kind of wanted it, but I'm not going to pay $95, and it's missing pieces too. There's 91 direct drive, super common. I own a ton of them, and I'm telling you, because I've paid $25 for them, I refuse to pay a certain price. You probably have more than the manufacturer. I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder how many Singer really has in their museum. Oh, best of luck trying to find an Elridge Bob in front. Thank you. That's why I didn't purchase it. $95 to bring problems in my life. And you know, I love a good clacker. I love a good challenge, but and this particular machine needs to be in a table. The second I grabbed it, it was off balance. It needed to be in a table. I was like, oh. And I took this picture because I didn't realize. Oh, okay. So I actually know Eddie Murray. It's a long, long story, but his ex-wife's computer, one of his ex-wife's computers is sitting in this room. And I had to laugh whenever I see his memorabilia up on the wall. She probably gave that to this consignment shop. I know his ex-wife. I met him because of her. She's an amazing person. He was famous. Oh, then Elridge would be a great parts machine, though, if you already own one. I see, that's the thing, I don't, and I'm not trying to I've learned over the years. Like, first, I'm a Singer and aficionado. If that was a Singer in that condition and was reasonably priced, I would have purchased it, because I have parts, I have bits and bobs from all kinds of just years from the 1800s until now. But if it's an Elridge, I'm lost. So needless to say, I did not buy it. And I know it's shocking to know. It all started because I was stuck in traffic. I went to Walmart, and there is an antiques mall in my town, and I was stuck in traffic, and the antiques mall was right there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going. So I went to the antiques mall, and I purchased my Star sewing machine there for $25. So I've scored there quite a few times. But they do have extremely high prices because it's an antiques mall. They jack the price up on everything on purpose. But Marked safe from purchasing an overpriced sewing machine. Oh, oh, that's funny. My new neighbor's cutting down the sunflowers on their sides. I should tell them, like, hey, man, we eat those. If you don't want to keep the tops of it, and I replant them, I'm Ranger Rick with my sunflowers. I am. Sorry, I got caught up. Peeping at my neighbor. We know you go to the antique mall. But I laughed because when I walked in, the lady was like, I haven't seen you in a while. I had to laugh. Did I already use? I will cut a W and make it an N. Do I need to make an N? I will make an N right now. I don't know how I ran out of this was poorly planned. but I am prepared. I am prepared. If you ever come here, I'm gonna have to take you to this one antique mall. It's literally an old warehouse, and it takes up the whole warehouse. 2 stories of antiques. Marquette told me that there is somewhere around here. He's like, dude, I'm so surprised you haven't been to this place. Apparently, there's a museum around my house that has old cars and stuff, but they have sewing machines. And I'm like, when he said that, I was like, what? Okay, I'm gonna have to make an N, and I'm okay with that. I try not to. That's one of the reasons I stay away from Rooster's Relics. That's one of the reasons. There's a difference between the Goodwill and going to the swap meet and flea markets. I'm a haggler. Even like going, I love going to fashion districts. When you go to antique malls, they charge more on purpose. They knew you were coming to the antique mall, and they raised the prices on the machine. Excuse me. Years and years ago, before I really knew what I was doing, I was willing to pay crazy prices for machines. Now, in no way, shape, or form, like I will haggle. Oh, that's funny. I feel like that sometimes at certain stores. There was one guy who I came up driving a car that was not mine. And it was a nice car. I'm not going to say what kind of car it was because that's not what the story's about. But I tried to buy a sewing machine. It was an antique. I actually showed the pictures a while ago. But when I walked up, the guy was like, is that your car outside? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, I want $700 for this sewing machine. And needless to say, it's not sitting in this room. So when I go to purchase sewing machines, you know, my predecessor was like that. He dressed like a hobo, but had thousands of dollars in his pocket. Oh, that's how you do it. That's how you dress like a pauper and have a bunch of money. Okay. Oof. Perfect. This N is going to be kind of janky, but that's okay. We will only know that. Hardest working man in showbiz. Oh, this is gonna. I have a feeling I'm going to have to make something a little bit bigger, but this is, this is just my test piece. And after ordering all of these These sequins on Amazon, I'll probably order more, even though I can tell these have been sitting in the factory for a while. Oh man, this thing is peeling off. Oh. I think it's because I live in the desert. Anything that takes this much goo just becomes completely sticky. And if it's sitting in a factory, I'm surprised this stuff didn't melt into it. So, all right. I think I'm going to have to improvise an E. Come here, F. Oh, where's that other piece I just had? Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Hardest working man in soap is. Oh. I have new neighbors. I have new neighbors. I really wonder what they think of me because they drive by and I am posing in front of my house. I am posing in front of my house. And I swear, some people drive past my house and they do not see the camera on my front lawn. They probably think that I'm just standing there. They're like, okay, why did we move here? Because this guy's crazy. So I feel sorry for my neighbor because I'm an eccentric human. A plus B times D equals C. I feel like I should be writing this down. And Donnell, I have to say, even though when you go live, it's super early in the morning here, I kind of like that because like I'm pre-gaming before I go thrifting. So I listen to you before I go thrifting, and you are so well caffeinated that it inspired me this morning. I was like waking up, I was watching you, and I'm like, I'm gonna drink another cup of coffee. I thought you were talking about letters. You inspired me this morning. You did. Especially on the weekend, I wake up sometimes and I'm like, I have enough fabric. I'm just gonna roll back over and go to bed. And this past week kicked me up the street and back. And I'm an energetic person, but I'm like that at like 8 or 9 at night. So I appreciate you going live at even though it's like 10 your time, probably it's 7 o'clock in the morning here. Oh, that's so sweet. I get up at 7 to make coffee, feed the dogs, wake up the birds, get myself awake before I go live. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do that during the school year. I wake up an hour or two before because I need to be well caffeinated before I deal with the world. Especially lately, man. People have been trying. I feel like it's the beginning of the year jitters, though. It's just been mayhem, nothing but mayhem. And 2 people have almost backed into me at the school. You're so very welcome. I truly appreciate it. No, I absolutely love your energy. We need more positive people on YouTube because there's a lot of angry people on the tubes. I put that equation into my calculator. It said very clear. Oh, Kilroy, if you lived any closer, I have every version of a Texas Instrument calculator that they put out up until my pop stopped collecting them because he worked for NASA, Rocketdyne, and I think after a while he just liked collecting those. But I have every TI I actually have a weird collection of Texas Instrument calculators. A really weird collection. Start of school IDs, always chaos. Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. I'm a Casio calculator guy, but I wouldn't say no. I was just shocked at the consistency when I started going through my father's hoardings. I was shocked at the consistency. The beginning of the school year is always a mess. But there was this mom and we were playing the Hunt for Red October passive aggressively with our cars every day. I would come 5 minutes early. She'd come 5 minutes earlier. I told my friend, I was like, one day I'm just going to park here and not leave. It truly was the Hunt for Red October. And I hadn't seen her in a week. And I'm like, oh, she's not here this year. I pulled up the other day and I saw her and I was like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And she was giving me the stink eye too. Like, yeah, I'm here, chum. Oh, good times. Oh, God. How do I make an S? How did I miss the S? We can do this. We can do this. I'm almost done. Hardest work. Did I? The hardest work. Yeah, I did get the other S. I did take the. Okay. Okay. I don't need an S. I am ground controlled to Major Tom. I don't need an S. Never mind. Oh, I think that's really what it is. And also, I moved back to my hometown. I made the mistake of moving back to my hometown. And I remember this place when it was a cow town. So I think when I'm driving around and I see a lot of people, I am that guy who's like, why did all these people move here? But it's progression. People move. Oh, I kind of collect calculators too, but I want one for every job. All I got to do is buy a Casio programmable calculator, a graphing calculator, and a touchscreen calculator, and I'm done. I have I have everything except for a touchscreen, probably. Oh, I had one of those moments. I think I need an I, but I'm just gonna cut that. I'm just gonna cut that leg off the L and move on with my life. Take two C's and take two C's, put one on the top of the other and reverse it. Duly noted. You know, you guys, you think this is funny? I go back and take notes. I'm like, okay, take two C's and put them on. You think I'm joking? I come back and I have the calculator that comes on my phone. Do you know what's so funny? It's so funny you would say that. I have all kinds of fancy flashlights. I have a mag light, which is in the other room. I have a 6-cell mag light. I have this really cool energizer, which is brighter than my mag light. I laugh. But anyways, I end up using the flashlight on my cell phone all the time. It makes me laugh. It makes, especially like when I travel, I carry all kinds of stuff with me, but I always travel with a flashlight. Because at night, like when you're going through your car, you'd be amazing how many things disappear. I always end up using my phone. I need a real calculator with real buttons. I don't trust phone calculator. I do that too. It drives me crazy. I own every flashlight on earth and I use my phone. Even in my for a long time ago, this was like 10-15 years ago, every time I would pay the work bill for Lowe's, they would send us something and it was always some weird flashlight or something. I have all these weird fancy flashlights, everything. I use my phone. Why get another flashlight when you know your phone is right there? My son says that to me all the time because I give him my Seinfeld speech about flashlights, and he's like, "It's the modern era, Grandpa." Oh, but I'm tactile, you know. I want to feel like ah. I used to walk around everywhere with a mag light. Then one time my pants fell down, and that was the end of that. I wonder, I have a holster for my 6 cell. That thing would destroy my belt. Every time I grab a normal flashlight, the dang battery is dead. Okay, so you know my pain. This is one of my major complaints. One of my major complaints. Even like with my mag light, one of the reasons I brought it in the house is because I think the batteries exploded inside of it, and I can't open it. So I challenged my son, like Sorcerer in the Stone. I'm like, hey, you're buff now. Open this. Oh, phone flashlights don't really have a lot of throw. Which out here in the country, I need something that has throw to see further than 50 feet. Has anyone, I have a strange question because I watch a lot of YouTube. Has anyone ever purchased one of those lights that they flash and you can see like 6 miles away? Has anyone ever in the history of the internet ever purchased one of those? Asking for a friend. Oh. I have the 80s version of that. You plug it into a car and you can flash it. It's bright, but it's nowhere near the modern day stuff. That's completely understandable. Absolutely. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. I'll be back at it on Monday. Am I same lately? I try to come on a little bit earlier on Saturdays, even though I'm still running around like a crazy person. I shine that in my face and see nothing for 3 years. You guys, I really want one of those flashlights they advertise on YouTube, but I don't know if they're real. I don't know. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm a hard sell on certain things. I don't believe a lot of things. I'm extremely skeptical. So when I see an advertisement on television for something like that, it really makes me wonder if it's real or not. Or is it, a bunch of lights, glitz, and camera tricks? Oh, all right. Let's see how the hardest working man in showbiz turned out. Let me move a few things. I'm going to switch my angle right now, but I'm going to move a few things. We'll see how. I have not ironed this yet, but we'll see how this comes out. All right. Oh, that's going to look awesome. All right. Hopefully nothing falls off. Oh. Perfect. I forgot about that weird shoulder gauntlet thing I purchased. I had a strong flashlight in the 80s. It lit up a mountain over 10 miles away. It was very dark with no light pollution. I think I have I think I have I probably have the same it's this weird light. You know, it's so funny. I laughed when I was a little kid, my dad would do magic tricks with it. I found that thing, I plugged it in, and it's still bright, but it's not bright by like modern standards, you know. Or maybe it was just tired. The thing is like 30 something years old, you know. All right, I'm gonna drink some water. You know what's so funny? It is still summer here in Southern California. Today it was well into the 90s. All right, I had to bring back my doo-wop mic stand because my other ones were driving me crazy. So we're back to the old school microphone. All right. Oh, oh, always trust in the math. It's actually perfect. I'm gonna have to put this on and take it off 15 times in a stream. Pull the real James Brown. Let me adjust that a little bit more. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, the math was perfect on this. Let me grab a phone. Question: does anybody actually use the blinking light function on modern flashlights? I haven't been stranded out in the ocean yet. If I'm trapped in an avalanche in the middle of Alaska, I will use that. Oh, sorry, I got caught up in The Hobbit for a second. I love those. I love those movies. But needless to say, this is perfect. I'm gonna iron this, but the hardest working man in showbiz is ready. Now I have to finish my shawl. Does this count as a shawl? Or did I just make a giant denim neck scarf? Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a quick break, but this is perfect. This is the hardest working man in showbiz. Oh, I'm gonna go crazy on this. I'm gonna add quite a few things on this, and I might even add some color to it. I might wrap it in red because I am on that weird red and blue thing right now. All right. I like the look as it is. I just need to finish the edges on the bottom. I didn't think I would be this far with that particular project. So this is that extremely blue tweed. This reminds me of like a proper coat from the UK or this reminds me of an old school coat. I'm going to start lining this. I chose kind of a more loud color, I thought, but it almost matches it in a weird way. But before I do that, I'm going to clean up a little bit in here. Kilroy, you need to also patent nothing good comes from the black crinkly bag. Do you know I was not wearing one of my world famous vests today? I walked into a place that I often frequent and it made me laugh because people were like, "You look so different in street clothes." I didn't even know how to take that. I was like, "What?" But I guess I do wear the same thing over and over. And people are so used to either seeing me in my hat or my vest. Oh, you know what's sad is like in the United States of America, that actually can hold up in court too. Oh, oh man, this stuff is sticky. Okay. All right. Let me take a quick break before I get on to the next project. But it's still early. It's still early here in the House of Stone. We got The Hobbit and Knight Rider going. Alf, I'm ready. Also, I need to thread this sewing machine because red does not go with the color scheme of this. Actually, if the patent application hasn't been placed, it is. I was told as a kid to mail myself any ideas I had so I could prove I had them on a certain date. Don't know if that would stand up in a patent law case or what. Oh, are we going to tell this story? So, when I was a kid, I used to, you have to file this one under always listen to your mother. My mom still brings it up all the time. All the time. Every time he's on TV. I used to draw this character when I was a kid. I mean, I drew it all the time. And I was copying Jack in a Box. This was 100 years ago, but I called my character. At first, I called him Blackjack, but then I changed his name to Jack Black. And I'm not kidding you. My mom walked up to me and was like, "You should patent that name." For some reason, she told me that year after year, you should patent that. You should patent that. Flash forward 20 something years later, anytime he's on TV and me and my mom are in the same room, she looks at me like, and she's mad. Like my mom's big mad because she was right. We should have patented the image and the name. I should have listened to my mother. And when you watch this in the replay, you were right. 30 something years later. And I can't believe I told that story because that one still hurts. That one still hurts because she was right. But what can you do? Oh, and really, can you own the rights to a name? Can you own the rights to a name? I don't know. See, moms always know best. Still, I'm telling you, still to this day, whenever we see Jack Black, I don't bring it up because it's a sore spot. Because she was right. And it like the character I drew was basically the Boondocks character from the and this was before the Boondocks even came out. So even that, my mom looks at me like, ah. Oh, I had something. I had an idea, and you know what? So Kilroy, you are 100% right. Always mail it to yourself. They did that in Back to the Future, and Marty got back to 1985. Oh, I'm still mad. I'm still mad. No, the case McDonald's had makes it you can't own a proper name. Good to know. Yeah, but I went to a Tenacious D concert and he had his name on everything. There was Jack Black merchandise everywhere. Oh, good times. Good time. Yet another reason my mom gives me a dirty look. Oh. But I'm glad you told. Thank you for softening the blow. All right, let me wind a bobbin because I know there is not a bobbin wound for this color. I haven't worked with navy in a while. I've been working with a lot of really funky, patterns. You can trademark your name, including nicknames and pen stage names and signature, if you want. Really? I should have. I'm not going to say it too many times because my mom's going to cut that and play it over and over where I say I should have listened to my mother. Oh, that's funny. That's almost there with the Lenny Kravitz story, but that one hurts even more. And there was one time I told this story in Vegas. I was playing on a slot machine, and on one pull, after I walked away, somebody won $1 million. I was 21, 22 years old. Not mad. They probably couldn't even afford the taxes. Not mad. I'm not. I didn't even see. I didn't wind the bobbin. Not mad. But yeah, I was playing for a while, and I'll never forget my super duper ex-girlfriend looked at me and she was like, "Just walk away, man." Oh, just walk away. Oh, so we're sewing now. I'm gonna let me grab it. This tweet reminds me of like World War II tweet. I watched a lot of Last of the Summer Wine. I was obsessed with British television, and I still watch British television. I have a channel with all British shows. I need to tell the truth. I'm obsessed with British television, but this reminds me of kind of like a jack. This is how people dressed in that era. William, do you have a video showing how to add a hood to a jacket or a shirt? I need to revise all my I have a bunch of tutorials, but they're 2 or 3 years old. When I would get thousands of views, but I never got a response, so I quit making tutorials because people stopped watching them, and people cared more about the entertainment side of sewing. I can get down and dirty and talk about dimensions, but no one cares. But I will definitely make a how to make a peasant hood video. I need to get back to that now that more people are watching my stuff. When I first started, all I knew was just showing people what I was, I didn't know what I was doing. So I made a bunch of tutorials. But I think it's time to revise that. Like my every time I look, my how to thread a tiny tailor. He retired from the tutorials. It makes if he makes another one, he's gonna need Tommy Johnson. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. Put me in. Let's see if the laughter works. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. No, I need to get back to tutorials, though. I really, truly do. Because I love what I do and I love sharing what I do. Do any of us really, truly know? I needed to hear that. No, seriously, Donnell, I needed to hear that. That is the truth. We don't. Oh. Well, I was winging it even more back then. Back then, truly was by the seat of my pants. Oh. And then I put patches on them. All right. Which way is the cord? Oh, I'm having some cord confusion under here. I have the 2 most common cords plugged under my desk because I use them all the time. All the time. But I definitely need to get back to tutorials. I was told earlier I'm too honest on when I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, I'm not gonna lie about it. Seriously, it never hurts to ask. Seriously. That's like last week or the other week when you asked what was tweed? I was like, yes. Yes. Because if I don't know what something is, I'm gonna ask. And I'm that guy like that's why I'm bad in crowds. I'm bad in cults because I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, excuse me, did you say left or right? Oh, oh, and you can tell when someone doesn't know what they're doing. You could totally tell. I used a Tiny Taylor as reference last week for the for the want of the tutorial field high end to use the shuffle machines for the collar and cuff. I don't know if the Tiny Taylor could. Okay, like the Tiny Merit that I have, that is a sewing machine that was built as a. Oh, I'm gonna grab it. It's right here. Okay, impromptu tutorial. This is a 1980s dusty. Okay, Kilroy was kind of right. This is the mothball fleet, but we're still flying. This is my dusty Singer Merit. This is heavy, and it takes a real bobbin. This is a sewing machine. It's a tiny machine, but it's an actual sewing machine. Oh, I'm very inquisitive. Never know what you like until you ask her to try. Thank you. I grew up around people that had traveled around the world. And so my parents were always like, try this. And they would always say, you don't know until you try it. And it's true. I'm going to start off by saying this. And I say this all the time. If you're going to get a sewing machine, go to your thrift store and go get an old Kenmore. It'll work better. This is a modern Singer M1000. This might get some eggs thrown at my house by Big Sewing, but this is 3 steps up from a toy. Matter of fact, in here, I have a toy Singer sewing machine, and there's not much difference between the toy machine and this. This just has a more of a fancy base and a little bit more engineering into it. But if you see how light that is, and I have my Tiny Taylor, but it's being held up by a board cube right now. But if you're going to get a mini sewing machine, get one of the 1980s mini sewing machines. This thing is solid. This I would travel with. This is a real sewing machine, and it's left-handed. This is a modern mini sewing machine. I don't know why I have 14,000 views on that video. So I try not to badmouth these things too much because I have become the mini sewing machine guy on YouTube. So I try not to trash them too hard. But if you ask me, just like Donnell was saying, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an honest answer. And I'm going to tell you they're awesome. I collect sewing machines. I have every version from the hand stitcher to those cheap ones where people are always like, do these work? They don't work. But I collect sewing machines, you know, because it sews cute. Oh, I like that answer. It sews cute. Oh, oh. Matter of fact, my most viewed video are all my tiny sewing machine videos. That, and of course, people love. Well, those are the most recent tutorials I've made were how to make Jankos, because you know the young kids like to copy a certain era. I want to get a small, lightweight, portable one for my desk when I'm working. Oh, I purchased this for $34. I have a Singer heavy duty I keep on my desk. Oh, oh, that's so funny. Do you know what's funny? People ask me all the time, like they're shocked when they find out that my father would sew. My pops had a Husqvarna Viking on his desk. I saw two very nice mini sewing machines this week. So nice. But are they actual sewing machines? My real beef with my real beef with mini sewing machines is because they're falsely advertised. I like to sew. And I like thorough working sewing machines. So if I buy something and you say, "Hey, this is a sewing machine," it's like 2 steps up from a jailhouse tattoo gun, I'm gonna be offended. A useful one, Danelle, is so expensive, and I'm trying to think where. Oh, I have this red one. I have quite a few. These are the ones you want to run from. These are like they sell these as sewing machines now. They sell them as toy sewing machines. These are the ones you want to run from. Oh man, I can't believe I pulled out the literal red herring. Oh, they're all metal. I have a tiny 9-inch long Raymond. See, it's different if it's name brand. I'll collect it. Am I gonna mini sewing machine shame myself right now? Yes. I have no idea why when you buy a mini sewing machine, it doesn't have the cord. In 2 Friday sewings ago, I did an unchecked unboxing where I was like, I'm going to unbox this mini sewing machine I purchased live on air. Well, not live, while I was recording. It didn't have the cord. I will never know why they do not have the cord. I've seen one pop up in my Amazon today, but pink. They sell them in every color, Donnell. They're white, pink, purple. I have the behind the 76 flag. I have the razzle dazzle, the rhinestone one, junk. I have what's it called? The bedazzler, junk. I saw a Barbie model and a Hello Kitty of that model. I'm telling you, they put them on those. It's offensive when they put the word sewing machine next to those. I'd buy a Hello Kitty sewing machine. To be fair, to be 1,000% fair, the second I read that, I would have too. That's how they get you. You see, that's how they get you. That's how they got me. I'm like, oh, it's tiny and red, or oh, are you kidding me? I had when I purchased the bedazzler, I remember I went to the counter and the lady was like, "What are you gonna do with this?" I was like, "I'm gonna sew with it," and she's like, "No, you're not." Oh, what are you doing? Making margaritas? Those days are long. Margaritaville and I, we don't talk anymore. I'm setting up my sewing machine because I'm gonna line my coat. I came prepared today. I had quite a few things. When I say that this room is a land of unfinished projects, I was not kidding. Earlier today, I cut out a coat with that blue tweed, and I fully intend on finishing it sometime this week. Oh, excuse me. William, come on, hon. We all know they had to do, all they had to do is say is sale sewing machine for a deal. It's true. You know what? It's sad though. I, like even today when I didn't buy a sewing machine, I walked out and I was like, "I'm so proud of you." They were shocked that I didn't come to the counter with a sewing machine, probably at the antique mall. Oh, the owner, she saw me and she's like, "Hi, hi, I know you, sewing machine guy." But let's be real. I wear a cowboy hat, and I'm the only person in my town that looks like me and wears a cowboy hat. So I stick out. I stick out. I wear a cowboy hat so much that when I do not wear my hat, people do not recognize me. It's funny. It actually I don't even get offended. It just makes me laugh. He'd buy a wood knickknack shaped like a sewing machine and buy it if it was cheap enough. I bought a sausage stuffer because it was green and it was next to my Elna when I purchased my Elna grasshopper. The box was green, everything was green. So I saw this green thing next to it and I was like, it looks like it goes with the sewing machine. I put it in the box and they sold it to me all together. I finally figured out it's a sausage stuffer or like a something roast. It's something, but it was green. So that's kind of true. And I bet you never made a single batch of sausage. No, but to be fair, I give it to my mom because she knows what she's doing. So she has, I have not. So that particular thing actually gets used. You should have saw her face. She was like, oh, because she knew what it was. I had no idea what it was. The exact same color as the Elna grasshopper. Oh, good times, good times. So yes, even if it's next to the sewing machine and it looks like a sewing accessory, I will purchase it. All right, let me get my table out. For the record, when I buy things like this smoker, I always test them out. But needless to say, I do not have a smoker in my house now. I went crazy. The smoker was an experience in which I will never repeat. Oh, good times. Oh, now I'm craving cake and barbecue. I'm so tuned out. I am so tuned out that I'm watching 1980s television. Oh, and I purchased, where's my remote? I purchased an aquarium DVD for some ambiance up in here. Hold the phone, smoker in your house. I got rid of it. No, I didn't smoke in the house, but I had a smoker. I smoked everything. And the final straw was I smoked a duck and I didn't like it. Everything tasted the same. I'm going to say it. Oh, I don't like smoked food. I used to, but eventually it just became too heavy toasting. Exactly. I'm the same way. I am the same way. No worries. No worries. I was in love with my smoker, and then you know what it was is I went overboard too. I smoked anything that I was like, can you I would be Googling, can you smoke this? Can you smoke? I bought the wrong coals. I said, like, I put a wood board under my smoker, and I'll never forget my son was little, and my dad and I were in the backyard. We were like Patty and Selma smoking, and he walks up to, he's like, fire! Let me tell you, that kid had proper training because he yelled fire because there was a fire. I set my smoker on fire and kept using it. Smoking is an art. Oh, I was bad. I got really bad at it. It's like me and microwave teriyaki noodles. I used to like them. They were then they were all I ate for 2 weeks. I overdid it, and now I don't like them exactly. I think that's my problem too. And I know people are gonna judge me for this because I grew up in the suburbs. I'm gonna say it. I don't like steak. I don't like steak. I grew up in a house. My father literally ate steak every other day. Judge me. Judge me. I know. First world problem. And then because I'm outgoing, I worked as a waiter at a steakhouse when I was in my 20s. Not a steak fan. And I know that's controversial, and I don't eat them that often. So when I do barbecue them, it's the greatest thing ever. But it's not something I'll necessarily jump at because I grew up around like real hardcore carnivores. And it's shocking to some people when I say that. I know I gotta warn people when I say things like that. Could you eat steak could you eat steak every day for 17 years? Well, as long as I could remember. And then when I came back to this town, my parents were still eating the same thing. Oh, I hate spam and bologna. You know, it's really funny. Like when I was a little kid, I would eat spam. You couldn't pay me to eat it now. I'm the same way. Ugh, I'm the same. I agree, Donnell. I agree. I don't like steak. I don't like steak either. Not enough flavor. Grind it up and add some taco seasoning. Exactly. That is true. That is true. That is true. I'll eat it if it's like, because I do live in Southern California, so I eat a lot of Mexican food. That is true. I think it's just because, I think it's just because of the way I was raised. Like, I still barbecue though. Like I'm a hardcore barbecuer. I have one on this side of the house, and I have 2 barbecues set up in my house. So I do not play when it comes to barbecuing. But you know, and taste is different. Everybody has different tastes. I'm not here to judge anyone. But I grew up in super meat eater heaven. That's why when people are like when I was shocked that not a lot of people eat bratwurst or there's all kinds of, I was shocked. But again, you know, being on the internet, you meet people from all around. And like in the UK, they eat the same things that we do. They just call it different things. Perfect. Had sausage all the time growing up. Now I can't stand it. I'm you know it's really funny. I'm like that in a lot of ways too. I'm in no way, shape, or form a vegetarian, but I'm like I eat a lot of that. I grow my own fruits and vegetables. Except for pineapple, which I will never get over. That raccoon waited right until it was an actual pineapple, and then that thing ate my pineapple. Maybe if I grew You know what? I'm gonna see if I could grow a pineapple in my breakfast nook in my kitchen. That thing gets direct sunlight all day long. I tried to explain this to my son about eating the same thing over and over. He loved Jack in the Box. I cured him of it real quick. He loved all these certain things. He loved sushi, and now you couldn't pay him to eat sushi because he ate so much. And yes, we're Southern Californians. We feed our children raw fish at a very young age. I do that with things. I phase things in and out. Like, I am obsessed with chocolate ice cream, but I don't eat it all the time because I know if I do, I'll hate it a month or two from now. It's been a while since I've told my Baskin Robbins story. When I was younger, I worked at a place. It was a sandwich shop and a Baskin Robbins. It was called a Togo's Baskin Robbins. And the owners did not care about the store at all. They did not care. And they would let us eat anything we want. I ate every single ice cream you could possibly think of. Here it is 20 something years later. I only eat chocolate and vanilla. Grow another pineapple. I know. I'm still mad. I'm still mad at that stupid raccoon over the pineapple. I need to put a trail cam out there to watch those things. But I'm like, and don't get me wrong, like I'll still go crazy for ice cream, but like having access to being able to eat anything I wanted to really narrowed down what I will eat now. You can screw your stomach up eating the same thing every day. I ate spaghetti and hot dogs every day for a month. My stomach eventually got mad and I had to eat just steak for a week to reset it. No, that's real. That is super real. I know all kinds of people that do things like that around here. Oh, I dropped my pin cushion. Ooh. Oh, I eat a bunch of fruits and vegetables and hope for the best. Oh, am I like the new Hulk Hogan? Eat your vitamins, kids. Eat your vitamins. Oh, all right. I'm actually really excited that I got that fashion book. I love sewing books. It expands my knowledge and it actually helps me being able to explain what I'm doing. Oh. YouTube has the strangest policy as far as copyrighted material. I fell into this rabbit hole of watching Designing Women. And it kept on being taken off of YouTube. And I started watching Three's Company. And I'm not surprised that hasn't been taken off. But my whole point is I have fallen down a rabbit hole of watching Three's Company. And I forgot how much I loved that show. I come from the era where all of those shows were syndicated by the time I came around. So they were always on television. And it's funny because now watching it as an adult, I get a lot of the innuendo and the jokes that I never understood at like 7 or 8 years old. I just like the fact that it was filmed in LA. And a lot of their references, like if you're a local, you'll get a lot of their references. But now that I have that, hold on, let me get one more pen in. But one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is because Don Knotts, yes, Chris, he was hilarious. I loved that show growing up. And like the opening was at the LA Zoo. I talked about this last week. The zoo looks exactly the same as it did in the 70s. And that show, they started filming it in 72, I believe. I could be wrong. I absolutely love that show. But let me look it up real quick. Don Knotts, Three's Company. No, they just gave me Don Knotts. 3:00. Come on. That's come on, Google, you can do better. His clothes in that show were, I know it was the 70s, but his clothes were unreal. Unreal. So let me share this. I'm gonna have to make a Don Knotts shirt. I'm gonna have to make a shirt that is inspired by the landlord. Come and knock on my door. When I started watching the show, the 1970s style was something else. I like 1970s style. It's something that I absolutely love. When I was in my WKRP in Cincinnati phase, which I'm still in, Mr. Furley. Mr. Furley. I don't know why they made the picture smaller on Google. It makes me so mad. He is so well dressed. I'm going to start dressing like Mr. Furley. Oh, come on. Look at that picture. Oh, I think I have that complete outfit with the denim, the red shirt, and everything. Oh, look how golden that outfit is. I think we need to bring back the leisure suits. I think it's time to bring back leisure suits. Come on. Don Knotts, the way he dressed in Three's Company was the definition of 1970s. Oh, I think I have love for Don Knotts because when I was a kid, I fell in love with the movie The Shakiest Gun in the West. I love Don Knotts. I still watch that movie on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube for free. But we need to bring back leisure suits. That's it. I'm gonna make one. That's it. I'm making a leisure suit. That kind of tie, look, can only be pulled off by an older man. I'll rock a scarf like Mr. Furley. when I I'm an extremely observant person, like I would imagine the average person is, but I always keep my eye on style. So when I watch things like that, it just reminds me of how much we've changed, but we really haven't. Needless, so next live stream, I'm gonna come dressed like Mr. Furley. So now we know what I've been doing all weekend. Oh, I reached this point where I'm not a debate me, bro. I'm not here to fight people. I love what I do. I grew up a television watcher, so I fall into watching older shows. So I fall into the rabbit hole of watching these older shows. And some of the times it's not even the nostalgia. They're better written. They are written so well that I'm all up in the story. I'm like, wow. I hate to say it. Even MacGyver. I watched MacGyver. The beginning of the show is completely different from the ending. I mean, you can watch the first 5 minutes and you'll have no idea. It'll have nothing to do with what's going on with the show. I like that. It gives the show character. I loved his movies. The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, The Private. Thank you. Don Knotts. Again, I loved the cheese bag style when I was a kid. So watching Three's Company brought that back, and I forgot. And that actually was a show that I watched. There's a ton of shows that I get into that I've been listening to a lot of 1950s radio. I wasn't around. So I get a pass on that one. But like even Alf, I remember watching Alf. Even Night Court. I remember watching Night Court. But like Night Court's different because I grew up and stopped watching television at a certain point. So like their last season, I hadn't seen any of the episodes. Okay, this thing needs to be tightened. Let's try that again. I think I pushed down too hard. I am way too hard on rotary cutters. God, right, I think I missed that side. Is there anything that you guys watch that isn't modern? I have fallen into this weird rabbit hole where I do not watch anything that has come out recently. I kind of want to see Beetlejuice, but that's because I'm a nostalgic person. Kilroy got me watching a bunch of indie stuff. There's something I subscribed to a while ago that Kilroy told me to subscribe to. I can't remember the name. Every time the channel pops up, it makes me think of Kilroy. Reno 911 is the newest show I watch. I loved that show, and I moved around a lot. I can't remember if it was Portland. I lived in a house that somebody had all the seasons up until a certain year. Whoa, that was a close cut. Back before the internet, when we would watch things. That's like a long time ago. I lived in a house that had the British version of The Office. So I've seen every single version of the British version. Perfect. I've been watching Reba's series and the Golden Girls. Do you know, Donnell, the second you said Reba, the theme song came on in my head. I'm a survivor. I watched Reba. I loved Barbara Jean. I'm going to admit it again. When I lived in Portland, I dated a woman that looked like her. And every time I'd look at her, I would be like, you look like Barbara Jean. Oh, I watched Reba. I'm going to get kicked out of 15 clubs for admitting that. But I watched Reba. Oh, good stuff. And the Golden Girls, who does not? I want to know if there's somebody out there who either has not or does not like the Golden Girls. Please let me know. Because I absolutely I watched that show. I'm aging myself again. I watched it when it aired. I loved that show. I loved Maude, the oldest shows she had. Pre-Golden Girls. Oh, I need to get some coffee. A lot of that's been popping up because I've been watching a lot of older stuff. I'm such a huge fan of Reba McEntire. I think any show that they have ever had in syndication, I've seen it. But that's because I'm a television watcher. Like, I'm one of those people who I love watching television. And so because of that, if you've had a TV show, I've probably watched it. I love them all, but I have to say Sophia is my favorite. Oh, I loved that show. I might fall into a Reba rabbit hole this evening. Do you know what's really funny? In a weird way, I live like the show Reba. I really do. I'm nice to everybody. I'm introspective, and I constantly break the fourth wall. I actually do live like I'm Reba. I am. Oh, I need a bigger house. Oh, oh, her entire series on Netflix. I haven't. I watch a ton of Paramount Plus, but I keep like Netflix and Disney around because of my son and my mother. They're the ones who call me and they're like, "What's the Netflix code?" I can tell my mom whenever I go into my Netflix, it's all like my mom loves watching like, period dramas. So it's a bunch of English stuff. Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna watch Reba tonight. I am gonna watch it on my phone. I used to be really big on Netflix and all of these sites, but then they got extremely privatized. So I had to start subscribing to other sites to watch the things that I wanted to watch. Perfect. Their entire series is on Netflix. Awesome. I haven't clicked on my Netflix in a while. I love that show. And I'm constantly looking for something to watch because I'm always sewing. I need somebody talking in the background. I love that show so much that I used to watch it with someone that shall not be named, and I didn't even let them ruin the show. Oh, that's so funny. Now I have the Reba song in my head. Needless to say, I used to watch that show all the time. I forgot I didn't add my pocket. I lined it and then added my pockets. We're live. We're doing this live. Oops. That's okay. You know what? That's okay. Because I'm going to be wearing this. And if anyone else is going to be wearing it, I'll be long gone. Oh, that's so funny. Let me move my ginormous cup of coffee. This is why talking and sewing do not mix. Oh, man, if my grandmother was here, she would be like, see, that's why talking and sewing do not mix. Oh, good time. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday night. I'm enjoying myself. I now have the Reba theme song in my head. Today has been another crazy day. I'm definitely thinking about moving before the Olympics. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? I don't want to be here when the Olympics get here. Am I being over dramatic? Me being dramatic? No. But I don't want to be here when the Olympics get here. Oh, that one. I could never. For as much as I visit Las Vegas, I don't think I could live there. That place has a little bit too much temptation. Come to Michigan. Do you know what's funny? I actually know people. I don't know. I have to find out where in Michigan they live, but I could actually make that happen. How cold? How cold does it get? says the desert dweller. Does it get like Alaska cold in Michigan? Because my cutoff is Alaska. I tried to move there and I was like, no way. Uh-oh, that thing's pushing too hard. Do you know I kind of want to go to Michigan because I want to walk up to Fred Sanford and be like, "Okay, how much for this entire building?" You know what? He would sell it to me and I would be a landowner in Michigan. I would be like, "I want the building and all the sewing machines inside, please." So I might come to Michigan. For the past 2 years, I have been logistically trying to figure out how to rent a U-Haul and get back from Michigan. But this time of year, there's snow on the pass. So I'll have to wait till next year. Just be a snowbird, be here from May to October, and then go somewhere from October to May. I do have family in Arizona. When I lived in Arizona, that's when I discovered what being a real snowbird was, because I really had no concept of what it was. And then when I lived in Arizona, I discovered it's a whole way of life. Oh, this is gonna be perfect. This is gonna come out beautiful. I've been talking about moving for years. COVID completely destroyed it, but I think not wanting to be here for the Olympics is great motivation. Because anytime any kind of dignitary, any kind of anyone who is Camilla Harris is a perfect example. She lives in LA. When we know when she's in town because the presidential motorcade is everywhere and they literally shut down streets. And she even said, "Hey man, I told them not to," and like it's chaos. My aunt has a massive RV and they go to Florida during the winter. That sounds like fun. Just go to Vegas for 3 weeks during the Olympics. That is true. Vegas will be empty during the I'm sure after the Olympics, tons of people will be in Vegas, but it'll be empty during the Olympics. Oh, that's hilarious. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. You know what? I know I'm hyping myself up. I just do not want to be here when when the Olympics start. I'll glad they're right now, like I said, they're fixing up the city right now. They're acting like the Olympics are next week. But anybody who has ever been in this city when anything of any importance goes on, the city shuts down and it's impossible to go anywhere. So with the Olympics, it's going to be crazy. Might even get discounts because of low business. They do that more in northern Nevada. Reno will definitely do that. I've been to Reno. It is the smallest big city in America. They will work with you. Wow, that's really slamming on the machine. I'm gonna have to clean this after and find out what that clack is about. Perfect. Go to Reno. I actually had Reno is a crazy place. The state of Nevada does not have laws like the rest of America. Reno is much like the show Reno 911. Okay, perfect. I wouldn't mind living in Michigan. Or you know what, I because I've traveled around, I'm one of those people who, like, you know, I moved back to my hometown. And so I'm like, I gotta move somewhere else. And I'm sure wherever I went, I would have a great time. Even recently, when I've been traveling, I've been meeting a ton of people, and there's still a ton of good people out there, says the talkative guy who will speak to anyone. Well, that's not true. Like, if you're like a complete crazy person, I won't speak to you, but I almost moved to Colorado, and I'm actually glad that I didn't. And that was pre plague. I know somebody that bought a 3-story house off of selling a house from this neighborhood. And so quite a few people from this neighborhood moved to Colorado. But I'm not the Colorado type. And I have to live somewhere where they have at least college hockey. I know Michigan has hockey because I watch it on television. They have to at least have college hockey or some sort of a pro team that I can go to a rink and watch hockey. And I'm not above watching college hockey. I actually watch college hockey on. Oh, I did not finish. And I don't know if I really wouldn't move to Vegas, because right now Vegas reminds me of Arizona when they had the boom. And in 50 years, they're not going to have any water. So I want to be somewhere where at least when I'm gone, my son will at least have water. Or move to PA and follow the Nittany Lions. Yes, the name of their hockey team. I actually watch Penn State. I watch a lot of that because this a couple of seasons ago, Arizona State started a hockey team, and it was like a novelty because people were like, Arizona. But Arizona started playing teams from around the country. So it made it easier for me to watch these teams because they're playing in Arizona. Perfect. The student section for Penn State hockey is called the Roar Zone. I love it. I love it. Perfect. When I was a kid, I used to go to a lot of UCLA home games. I like college football is down home. It has a great feel to it. They built the bleachers in the roar zone. The steepest that the building code allows. It holds that many people. It's been so long since I've gone to a college anything. It's a little bit different. Like I've gone to a ton of hockey games, but it's different when it's professional. Right, let me even this out real quick. College ball hasn't been corrupted by money and internal politics. They now pay the kids. And if they don't pay them, like, man, I'm not giving away any secrets. My nephew plays for Cal. I know for a fact that kid can't afford the car that he drives. But because he plays for Cal, he has a really nice car. And I don't know if that's their incentive, because I would be like, I'll just take the money for the car. But, times have changed because they blatantly buy these kids things now. But I guess there's a difference between he plays though. He's not a bench warmer, so I don't know. I think they should pay these kids, Like the NFL, it's basically the fifth branch of the government. The NCAA is nowhere near the same. It's weird. They are allowed sponsors now. You have to look it up. There's some weird thing where they actually pay the kids now. I kind of couldn't believe it when I saw it. But I asked my mother a very direct question. I was like, why does this child have a very nice car? And I know he's a broke college student. And I'm not against it at all, But like Donnell was saying earlier, it's better to be honest about these things. But there are people who they're like there's a whole controversy behind it. So I'm pro these kids getting money. Perfect. Oh, wow. I'm going to take a quick break. I need some water. Where is my compass? Oh, there it is. Perfect. Ooh, the Dodgers lost to the Tampa Bay Rays 9-8 at home. The funny thing is, sports is not the end all be all for me. So it's not like I could move somewhere and they didn't have a sports team. I wouldn't freak out. I'm just one of those people. I like to be entertained. The schools already make a shit ton of money off their sports. May as well let the kids have some. It's a big controversy. And I have this whole view, but me and my sister don't get along. So anything I have to say just comes from being grumpy. But I think they should pay these kids. They should. And let's be real, they go to they find the most underprivileged people. They find people who could never afford to go to college, and they pay for them to go to college. And this child is utilizing his education, and he's finishing college. He could have went to the NFL, and he's actually finishing school instead of going to the NFL. So, he's getting that $1 million education, so to speak. That to me is more important than any accolade you could ever get, because what are you going to do after you play that sport? His own father was retired by 29 years old. Like in reality, what would you do? They already have to get a job to be in college, so might as well pay them. And that's another thing. He did have a job. It's just there's no way he would be able to afford that car. I again, like, because I kind of have the inside, like, I at least at Cal, they're hooking these kids up. And you have to have an extremely high GPA. So it's not like they don't have standards. They have extremely high standards. I feel bad for all the kids. Michigan is the perfect example. In the early 90s, they had the Fab Five with Chris Webber, and they were one of the most prolific jerseys of the 90s. I have a Michigan jersey. It's probably like Jalen Rose or Chris Webber or one of them, but it's literally from like the early 90s. Not one of them saw a dime from the sales of what they created. They started wearing longer shorts. They created this whole style in Michigan, which exploded to the whole country, because basketball shorts changed after these kids wore long shorts. They didn't see a dime of that. So I have no problem with that. Please tell me they aren't giving them Mustangs. New drivers do not need Mustangs. They gave him an SUV that you are either driving the president or you're extremely rich. They gave him a really nice SUV that the average person would never be able to afford. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Maybe they helped him co-sign and they put most of the money down. I don't know. But he's played for them for 3, almost 4 years, and there's nothing wrong with that, Whatever is the most sought after one. Whenever my neighbor is a fancy Uber driver, and he has one, but his company owns it. I don't even know. It's a really, really, really fancy Cadillac. It's the ones that they use for like the Oscars. They're really coveted where I live, and I don't know why. We're not even like snow people here. Or at least he's earning it. At least he's earning it legitimately. I agree. Like I said, me and my sister don't get along, but he's hardworking. I saw him on ESPN. Like, he's not slouching, and he's not a wannabe. He's not pretending to be something he's not. So I would never say it to his face, but I kind of respect it, But there are a lot of kids who get the world handed to them and don't understand they don't understand the conditions behind it. And I think that's part of the problem too. But like I said, like, he's on the different side. Cal is different. Like Cal State, Stanford, no slouches go to these schools. You can't just walk into these schools. You actually have to have an education before you get there. It's not like I went to Arizona State University. You can walk into ASU, sit down, and they'll be like, oh, I guess you go here. Oh, good times. Good times. That's actually a really good subject. I I never thought about that because in the NFL people make unreal amount of money. But again, the average career is 3 years. Let's take his father as the example. By 29, he didn't know what to do with his life because he was already well retired. Well retired. And if you don't save your money, you're gonna like just be some guy with some amazing stories. And I think that's part that's part of the problem too. Where I live, there's a lot of ex sports stars and a lot of people that a lot of college sports stars. My town is definitely the town of glory days. There are certain places I refuse to go because I know people are going to be telling football stories from 100 years ago. Penn State's charter came from PA state government. The way the Penn State's charter is written, they basically are required to let any PA resident, regardless of grades or finances. ASU's like that. Well, let's be real. Like, I went to a party school. Let's be real. I think that's important though, because some people need that college education. There's other people that don't, and I commend people like that, but some people do. As somebody who received a secondary education throughout elementary school, I think getting help, there's always it's okay to get help. And anyone wondering, I went to catechism classes. It wasn't like I was learning French or like anything else, but it gave me another perspective because I was learning something else, is what I'm trying to say. Indoctrinating somebody isn't necessarily the best, but it gave me a secondary education. William and everyone, y'all have an amazing night. If you are up at 10 a.m. my time tomorrow, I'll be live again. I'm off to bed. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. We have to coordinate because I want to have you on my show, or I want to go on your show and spout my my love for sewing. Thank you so much for stopping by, Donnell. Thank you so much. I have Huey Lewis stuck in my head still. We had religious class in Catholic schools. It was like 75% Catholicism and 25% other religions. Opened up my view on the world. Absolutely. And that's another thing. They just told us things that I would never hear in elementary school. I don't think there's anything wrong with a secondary education. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Donnell, for stopping by. Absolutely. Absolutely. Will you send me your email? I keep on forgetting to ask you this. I didn't catch it the first time. But if you do, I'll send you mine. The only reason I don't put mine out on the air, it's because it's my name. Address is the description. Oh, okay, awesome. Awesome. I will jump on it. Awesome. And plus it's the school year, so I am up a little bit earlier. But on Sundays, I sleep in. After, like, Sundays are weird. Saturdays are weird because after my live stream, I'm drinking espresso, I'm having a good time. So after the live stream, I'm like doing laundry, bumping music. Excuse me, finishing projects. And the weekend is the only time I get to myself. So on Saturday nights, I'm going full risky business. And plus, we're back in the school year. I'm trying not to be resentful, but I'm already singing the school year blues, and we're like 3 weeks in. Oh, thank you so much, Donnell. I think, I think I have a bunch of like hand sewing projects that I bring with me. I'm gonna have to start some more hand sewing projects. Even though I will say I do get strange looks while sewing when people drive by and they're like, "Is he sewing?" They're shocked when they see me. Make a new Gmail, call it the hardest working man in showbiz at Gmail. Patent pen. Oh, I almost ate my microphone. Patent pending, patent pending. I actually really like that. I'm hand quilting tomorrow. Wow. That much respect. Much respect on that. Hand sewing is a love of mine. It's an absolute love of mine. And it's kind of what brought me to YouTube. Wow. Do you know when I purchased those quilting machines in Vegas, I feel like I'd made it. And one of the machines that I purchased is made for traveling around. So I think I should travel around with that one. Hand quilting. That reminds me, I really need to get on those quilting pants. I got really far and then I just stopped. That is one thing I have never tried, hand quilting. Seriously. Alibaba and I are in that. Do you know, when I first got on YouTube, I really was thinking about what I wanted my channel to be about. And it's still about just me throwing myself out there. But like quilting channels were intimidating. Okay, I'm out of here this time for sure. Quit drawing me back. Have a great night, Donnell. Thank you so much for stopping by. I can't even machine quilt. When I first started my channel, I was intimidated by quilting channels. I was so intimidated. I had one of my fellow creators teach me. I think I'm gonna have to I no, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to keep you here for hours. I don't. But you've inspired me to do about 15 different things, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to keep you up all night. I'm so sporadic. I should take notes, but I've been watching a lot of your old live streams. So one of the reasons I didn't start quilting it was because they were so intimidating online. But again, and I say this all the time, and it's partially, it's okay, say it. I'm still no, I like your style, and you've like totally encouraged me to start selling a few things and like doing a certain things, and I'm taking notes. I like your style. I like how you conduct your live streams. I do. I really do. And I'm taking notes. I'm sitting there. I really do. It's true, Alibaba. I'm intimidated by the quilters. Then there was this one guy who was a marine quilter, and he would come out, and I'm like, dude, you're quilting. He had the most hardcore shirts on, and I'm like, but I bet people say that about me, that my style conflicts. Because you see me, I have all my patches on, then I come up and I'm like, hi, how's it going? I like taking things simple and fun, making it not so scary for beginners. I think I like that. I like that style because a lot of it is intimidating. And that's one of the reasons that I stopped doing it. I'm not kidding you. I'm looking at a quilt that I started 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And I pinned it up to shame myself. And I have slowly built up things around it where I only see the corner, but it's still there. I get so much help from the quilting world. Most of the people I'm part of a sewing circle. Every single one of them are quilters except for me. I show up with a battle vest. We're hanging out, and I'm like sewing my patches on my vest, and they're all making quilts. I showed you to my 25-year-old son, and he was like, he looks like a biker. Thank you. Thank you. It's intimidating. It is intimidating to people. I get it more at Hobby Lobby and stuff, but I'll walk in and people are like, "Can I help you? What are you doing here?" And I love it. I get this all the time, and I don't even get offended because I'm dressed like this. I wear my cowboy boots on. I quit wearing my spurs because those were intimidating. But people always, they're like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What are you sewing?" I get that. And when they're like, "You're buying a lot of fabric. What are you making?" I actually love that question now because it piques people's curiosity. Bonnie Hunter sure helped me out with the letters and enders concept of doing squares quick and easy. He started a gang called the Swift Singers. We love it. My husband's a biker. Thank you. It's the fusion of both worlds. I was actually talking about this with somebody at the MMA class because they asked me, they're like, "You have a YouTube channel?" I was like, "Yeah." When so they clicked, they're sitting next to me and they clicked on it, and I heard the "My so-called life is sponsored by." Her face went like this. She was like, because she only sees me in a certain light, And then when she saw my channel, she was like, "Who are you?" She literally, within 5 minutes of watching my channel, she turned and looked at me and she's like, "Who are you?" Because she had this image of me in her head when she sees me at the MMA class. And, I make friends because I'm a talker. So I hold court with all my MMA buddies. And I get it because I look different than what people think I actually am, I get that even today. Someone told me, they're like, "You look very intimidating." I was like, "Man, I'm just trying to buy a JanSport for $1. I'm just trying to buy a JanSport," which I did. I haven't washed it. Yet, but I bought a JanSport backpack for $1. And I'm definitely going to take the heart and the Tilly's thing off. Oh, I have to take this off before it goes in the washer. I'm glad I brought this out. But this is going to be my new camera bag when I travel. Oh, good times. I think I'm a little too old for the Tilly's tag. Perfect, but I got this for $1. This is my new camera bag. I'm gonna flash fry this thing though. When I wash this, I'm going to flash fry this. The first time I saw you, I was like, I like him. He's crazy in a good way. I'm fun. I'm nothing but fun. A long time ago, I had my Office Space moment where I was like really rigid in my life. I had a lot of things going on, and I decided to start enjoying my life. And I'm really glad I did because that was a couple years before the plague hit. So by the time the plague hit, I was ready for isolation. And I feel like you should be yourself. Life is too short to repress yourself and pretend to be somebody else or pretend to be someone you're not, because in the end you're going to regret it, because I guarantee you are more interesting than the person you're pretending to be. I guarantee you. That's some old man sewing advice right there. But I reached this. That's like with sewing. I get it all the time where people are like, I couldn't imagine wearing this color or that color. I go out of my way to try to find crazy stuff to wear. I challenge myself with color. because all I wear is black and white shirts and jeans. So years ago, I challenged myself to actually add color to my wardrobe. You should have a weekly advice video just called Old Uncle So. Kilroy, you're throwing heaters tonight. You're throwing a no hitter. We are watching history in the making. Kilroy is so right. This is like the 5th patent pending. Old man, whatever. You have a high schooler, so you cannot be that. You know what it is I inherited a work crew who remember me when I was a child, and I am now their boss, and we're all gray. It makes me, I think it's because I have witnessed these people over the past 30 years. It makes me feel very. I think it's because I was raised by senior citizens, and I mainly hang out with, like, most of the people I hang out with are senior citizens. So I think that's really the effect of what it is. Well, that, and I look back at my videos. Kilroy was the one who pointed this out first. I looked a lot. Being the boss will make. Thank you. Being the boss will make you go gray. 3 years ago, Kilroy pointed this out, and I started overanalyzing it. And Kilroy is 100% correct. 3 years ago, I looked younger. 4 years ago, I looked like a baby deer. I have gone so gray in the past 4 years. It's not even funny. I have aged. That's why you can tell, even in my past shorts, the short with the black jacket, you can tell the old footage because I look different. Being in charge has aged me. It has. It's kind of like when someone becomes president and you see their picture and their hair. Barack Obama is the perfect example. He had jet black hair. 4 years later, he was so gray, he looked like Gandalf. You're like a before and after the. Thank you. Kilroy, you are throwing heaters tonight because it's you and I are on the same page. I am before and after the president photo. Making those shorts reminded me of what I used to like. I don't know why I've gone so gray. And once every like 2 or 3 months, I let my hair grow a little bit. Last time I did that, it is gray. My younger brother went gray in their 20s, and I didn't see any gray until I turned 40. Wow. Same. I think that's what it is. My 40s have hit me like a freight train. I was rail thin. My mom laughed at me so hard today because I told her, I was like, someone shrank my pants. And she was like, no one shrank your pants. But like being in my 40s, I have gone in different directions. Even when I make pants, I have to take my new dimensions into consideration, and I'm in a bit of denial. So whenever you hear a rip, that is literally me being in denial of being in my 40s and having gained weight. I wore the same pant size for over 20 years. And then it changed, and I'm still in denial of it. Oh, good times. Obama looked like he could have joined any pickup game in Chicago on day one of the presidency. On his last day, he looked like an old man who'd whisper tips to you. For real. Seriously. I have a t-shirt from his first presidency, and even if within 4 years he was gray. Because in the second t-shirt I have, he's all gray. Oh. No, but for real though, stress does that to you. I try to tell my son this all the time. Stress will put you down. Like, I turned 40. I started seeing gray hair. 41, back surgery. Cannot wait to see what my 50s bring. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry that you had back surgery. I I was one of those people who I thought I was invincible when I was in my 20s. In my 30s, I realized I had limits. In my 40s, like, ugh, it's not the same. Wow. Michelle still looks good though. She does. She does. I think the thing, my big thing about aging is accepting. Like I constantly talk about body acceptance in these things, but really it's me talking into a mirror because I'm talking to myself because I had to accept the fact that I turned gray. I watched this thing yesterday where this guy was talking about putting mascara in his beard. I'm too sweaty for all that. And I'm too old to be putting mascara in my beard. I don't want to look like Rudy Giuliani. I just accept it for what it is. Even my hairline, I am Friar Tuck bald. I shave my head. I accepted it for what it is. Even with my weight, I'm not hard on myself like a lot of people would be. I just considered aging. Instead of getting tall, I'm going sideways. It's the circle of life, you know. I try to be positive about it because for as much as I work out, for as much as I'm active, we're all gonna age, you know. Just buy a bunch of Just for Men when you think about buying mascara for your beard. Oh, it was a big kerfuffle online because people were like, "Dude, just age. Like it's okay to accept who you are. Mascara in your beard is just bonkers." I agree, and I'm too active. I bump up against people like not take care. I just not enough. Thank you so much for stopping by, Alibaba. Thank you so much. You are definitely a part of the House of Sewing. Thank you so much. I know I should be jumping off soon. The coffee's kicking in. I'm going the hardest working man in showbiz. It was this whole kerfuffle about mascara in your beard, which led to a whole other discussion about aging. And I don't know, I'm on the spectrum where I'm okay with it. But again, I was raised by people who were 2 generations refused from me. They let their hair go gray. They let their teeth fall out. They didn't care what other people thought. And these were my examples. I used to be 5'3", 120 pounds. As I got older, I don't stress too much now. Exactly. I, I was 170 pounds for like 20 years. I'm glad I took a bunch of pictures. I am nowhere near that now. After my back surgery, I'm now 5'2". You know what's so funny? I've actually heard that back surgery does that. My mom got both of her knees done, and she always says, "I swear I'm smaller. I'm smaller." But I've become okay with accepting my someone I used to hang out with all the time. She told me I shouldn't say that I went up a pant size. And this was a while ago. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's aging. And I was the same pant size for 20 something years. And I thought it was a big deal. I went out and bought a bunch of pants, and she was like, "Do not go buy bigger pants." But I did. And they fit comfortably. But I'm not going to walk around in denial wearing a pair of really tight jeans trying to impress other people. I found out about my blood disorder and started getting treatment for it, and I gained 20 to 30 pounds because I wasn't bleeding all the time anymore. I felt a lot better with a 20, 30 extra pounds. Absolutely. And I think that's another thing. I was so skinny my whole life. I like my weight gain. I had a fractured vertebrae that pinched a nerve and goes down my left leg. Oh my gosh. But did your surgery heal it? I've been around people that have got a ton of surgeries, and I've only known one person who had knee surgery and it didn't work. Skinny jeans on me would send the wrong. Gilroy is full. Kilroy is going Sandy Koufax this evening. But it's true. Same here. I have curves, and wearing skinny jeans would send the wrong message. Absolutely. I've talked about this. I don't feel comfortable wearing something that tight at all. I always wear bootcut jeans or something that has a little bit more room. But again, I've always worn boots. In my adult age, in my adult era, I've always worn boots. When I was, I still wear sneakers and stuff, but more as house shoes. Instead of Otani, I'm sewing. Otani, absolutely. Absolutely. We paid a lot of money. When the Dodgers are winning, people are like, the Dodgers are winning. I'm like, they paid money to win. They better be winning. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I'll go a little bit longer. I'm going to finish this code off stream. I have so many ideas. I found the material for that weird dollar shirt. I'm going to add a hood to that. I still have a small bout of the nerve damage, just enough to be irritating. My surgeon was an amazingly skilled person. I went to the hospital in a wheelchair, left 2 days later walking without a cane. Wow. Okay, that's major. That's absolutely major. I was in a car accident and I had to learn how to walk again, and it took a month. And it was probably the scariest month of my life. That actually really humbled me. My car accident changed my life. I like with my kid in the car, I was a slow driver, but by myself, I was a fast driver. And guess what I do not do anymore ever since my car accident? It was very humbling for me. Very humbling. Medical science has made insane advances. Somebody I know just had a heart attack and had to have open heart surgery in and out of the hospital in 12 days. Back in the day, that wasn't even a guarantee that she would come out. You're right, though. There's actually somebody I know, because they constantly his heart was stopped during surgery, so he tells everybody that, like, he's like, technically I was dead, blah blah blah. Like, oh, excuse me. But with modern science, that's basically how they give you heart surgery now. Oh man. That brought back crazy memories. Needless to say, I do not drive. I listen to Huey Lewis in the news and drive slow now. I love the look on people's faces when I'm bumping Huey Lewis or something and they pull up next to my car because they want to see. They want to see who's in. They pull up next to my car and they're like, really? Except for, like, I can tell everybody over 40 pulls up and they're bopping their head. They're like, oh yeah, I know about Huey Lewis. All the over 40s are excited. When I found out going over 55 mile an hour wrecks your gas mileage, I said, well, I guess I'll top out at 55 now. That and my blood disorder has made me a grandma driver. I am too. Like, I have my moments, but I have to remind myself, like, you want to get there safely. It's also examples. Like, LA drivers in general are aggressive. We tailgate. We do things in LA County that would be that probably are illegal here. If I drove in Iowa, how I drive in California, they would put me under the jail. But in California, it's normal that we tailgate, we honk at each other, we fly past each other. I was doing 75 and a cop passed me because I was going too slow. But I get in the middle-ish. See, the thing is too is that like on our freeways, we have 5 to 7 lanes. So you can still cruise in the middle lane. Oh man. Today has definitely been a full day. Here in PA, they don't care what speed you drive at. They're too busy trying to catch drug dealers. we have this insane quota machine here. I think it's because they can get away with it because we have so many cars here. We have nothing but laws that protect the citizen in California. I know it's a lefty state. So the cops cannot approach you. They can't just walk up to you. They can't just like, there's a lot of things they can't do. So everything is up to being pulled over. And so they make a ton of money off of us by pulling us over, which I've seen in other states too, but not in the massive scale like here in California. There is an infrastructure of pulling people over here. And I used to take it personal, but every single person I know has a being pulled over and ticket story. Every single person. Especially in my town, it's a quota machine. It's known. I saw on this one website, I laughed so hard when they named the corridor of my freeway and they were like, whatever you do, do not speed around here. It makes sense because that's the only way they can really get you here unless they blatantly catch you doing something, you know. All right. We went full Elvis tonight. We shablammed. We went around Jupiter twice. The hardest working man in showbiz. Where is that thing? Hold on. We got to close this properly. On my good foot. Good God. Oh, what did I do with it? I can't even find it. Oh, I know what I did with it. The hardest, whoa, there we go. The hardest working man in showbiz. I'll be back at it on Monday. But in all sincerity, I want to thank everybody who watches my live streams. I want to thank everybody who watches this in the replay. You guys are amazing because you watch it to the end. The hardest working man in showbiz will be back on Monday. And everybody needs to thank Kilroy for this one. Oh, I never got a ticket. And the only way I'll get one with the way I drive is if a cop is corrupt as hell. I used to really take it personal, but then I saw a video of them ticketing everybody. They indiscriminately ticket people here. And I finally stayed for the... I knew you were still here. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Donnell. You are absolutely hilarious. And I love your energy, too. You remind me of this person I know that has energy. Kilroy, thank you so much. Serious. Kilroy threw Kilroy went 9 innings and threw a no-hitter this evening. So this is definitely going down in my so-called life history. I'm seriously going to go back and write down all the things that patent pending. And tonight was the birth of old Uncle Sewing. But seriously, thank you everybody. I'll be back at it on Monday. I'm not going to do my usual waffle. I have a lot of laundry to do this evening. So I thank everybody. I'll be back at it on Monday. Thank you. Like I always say, reinforce your seams. I sincerely appreciate you. Reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time.